すべての人間は道具でしかない。家庭は関係ない。どんな犠牲を払おうと構わない。この世は勝つことがすべてだ。
Kiyotaka Ayanokoji. When we first see him, he appears to be just an ordinary character. There's nothing outstanding about him at all, but the more we watch the series, the more we realize that he is the most perfect character in the anime classroom of the elite. He is the most exceptional student in every field. Throughout the entire story, we have never seen any major flaw in this character. We witness his abilities in academics, sports, martial arts, and analytical thinking, all above average. He even possesses the ability to manipulate others. He refuses to show even the slightest hint of his abilities to anyone. He doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to stand out at all. But what made him like this? What is the reason behind all his actions? How does he think? What is his philosophy? Ayanokoji was born and raised in the White Room, a secret educational institution designed to create the perfect human. Here, they aim to build the ideal environment for people to reach their highest level of superiority. In this White Room, everyone was subjected to intense training in various disciplines: liberal arts, science, martial arts, combat techniques, and a vast amount of worldly knowledge, all taught at or beyond a professional level. Every child in the White Room could develop to a certain extent, but none of them ever managed to reach the targets set by the institution. Except for one, Kiyotaka Ayanokoji. Ayanokoji became the best among all the students there. No matter how difficult the training program was, he could overcome it perfectly, surpassing every expectation. Ayanokoji became the most superior and flawless human of them all. For those who don't know Ayanokoji, they might assume he's just an average student. Even his very presence doesn't stand out or dominate. People around him might think he's apathetic due to his quiet nature. Not only that, Ayanokoji seems like someone who never shows, or perhaps cannot show, his emotions. Even the way he speaks and expresses himself appears flat. His cold demeanor and calmness in every situation make him a completely different kind of character. He also seems socially awkward with his classmates, very much a loner. In his environment, he might appear strange and unremarkable, even seeming unintelligent because he consistently scores only average grades. During his first introduction to the class, he even stated that he wasn't skilled or gifted in anything, truly coming across as someone pitiful. But what's the reason behind saying all this? Why does he want to hide everything? His quiet nature and tendency not to speak much may be underestimated by others. However, behind this facade, he silently observes every event he witnesses and analyzes all the situations at hand. Ayanokoji has the ability to accurately analyze the traits and personalities of others simply by observing their actions, processing the information and data he acquires from what he sees. On his first day at school, he observed and analyzed the traits and actions of Yusuke Hirata, who at that time invited all his classmates to introduce themselves. Ayanokoji saw Yusuke as a driving force and suited to be a leader. Hence, he concluded and predicted that Yusuke would undoubtedly become the class representative. Following Yusuke, the next person to introduce themselves was Kikyu Kushida, a cheerful and friendly person towards everyone. Kushida stated her goal of becoming close friends with everyone, which led Ayanokoji to predict that she would become a well-known and popular figure in the school. From these introductions, Ayanokoji successfully discerned the traits of his classmates and how their positions in the class would unfold. From the data and information he collected, along with his analyses, he could predict what they were thinking and the actions they would take. His observational and data analysis skills are exceptional, making them crucial in his ability to manipulate others to achieve his desires. For instance, when he observed and gathered information about all the rules at that school, he noted how the point system was distributed among students and could be utilized. As a result, Ayanokoji maximized this regulation, using those points for various purposes, including purchasing 2-year-old exam questions from seniors to help Class D gain an advantage and secure good grades. During their survival exam on an island, there was a regulation stating that each class must have a leader. Ayanokoji acquired this information and analyzed it, leading to the conclusion that group leaders could only be replaced under specific circumstances. Hence, he devised a complex plan and scenario. First, he sabotaged Ibuki's camera because she was a spy, forcing her to steal the group leader card directly from Class D. Then, Ayanokoji waited until Horikita's condition worsened due to her illness, creating a situation where Horikita would reveal her card in front of Ibuki so that she could steal it. After that, Ayanokoji created panic by starting a fire, giving Ibuki the opportunity to escape, which compelled Horikita to chase after her until she fell seriously ill, at which point the group leader could be replaced with a valid reason. Everything was meticulously designed for him to win the ongoing competition. From this, we learn that every decision made by Ayanokoji greatly impacts the future. He thinks holistically, considering all aspects, causes and effects, advantages and disadvantages of decisions, which may influence others' behaviors in specific occurrences. This way of thinking creates a chain reaction that induces changes in related behaviors, as seen in the scenario Ayanokoji crafted to win the survival exam. We learn that thinking holistically means every decision we make in life must be thoroughly considered with a long-term perspective to ensure everything runs smoothly without obstacles. Given Ayanokoji's high intelligence, he chooses not to disclose his personal information. He even conceals all his abilities because he understands that being conspicuous is detrimental, as others will easily gather information about him, just as he has done. In Ayanokoji's mind, all information is vital and usable. A little information about oneself can be exploited by others. The only way to avoid being subordinate to others is by withholding any information about oneself from anyone. Therefore, he creates a facade to appear unremarkable and ordinary, preventing others from manipulating him. His poker face is also intentionally crafted. He deliberately maintains a neutral expression to prevent others from predicting his actions and thought processes. For example, when Ryuan sought to unveil the mastermind behind Class D, Ayanokoji's unremarkable nature actually helped him avoid suspicion from Ryuan, even being regarded as a pawn unlikely to be the mastermind behind Class D. Like wearing a mask, we cannot see the face of someone behind it, reminiscent of Ayanokoji's nature, which serves as a clever tactic that protects him from others easily obtaining any information and analyses about him. Even when Horikita inquired about what he was truly thinking and who he really was, Ayanokoji does not allow her to meddle in his personal affairs or uncover information about him. Concealing one's true nature, as Ayanokoji does, is a human trait. We all have different sides within our lives, and it's not just Ayanokoji. Sakura, Kushida, Horikita, and Karuizawa exhibit the same behavior. Thus, we should not be surprised or disappointed to discover there are hidden aspects of someone's character that they keep from us because everyone does this. François de la Rochefoucauld, a French moralist, once said, "There is no need to be disappointed when others hide the truth from us, while we are still hiding the truth from ourselves." Professor Takeo Doi considers these two sides of a person as Han and Tatame. Han referring to one's genuine feelings or desires. This is an individual's true face shown only to themselves, whereas Tatame refers to behaviors displayed to the world, society, and community. This is what others expect and need according to one's situational position. Tatamai reflects the self-deception to align one's character with societal expectations, even though it is not one's true desire, influenced by humanity's adaptive capabilities. This illustrates that most of human life always wears the Tatamai face filled with deception, while one's true nature cannot be freely expressed due to social demands and circumstances. In Chinese philosophy, this is described as the outer face and inner face. Nonetheless, hiding one's true characteristics and abilities, as Ayanokoji does, is not easy. It requires skill to conceal abilities, feelings, emotions, expressions, and personality. François de la Rochefoucauld also once remarked,
"To hide talent and ability are also needed.
Additionally, another reason Ayanokoji refrains from showcasing his talents and abilities is that he doesn't want to seem arrogant. He recognizes that arrogance leads to poor decisions, culminating in regret in life. Similar to the story of Icarus in Greek mythology, who arrogantly and confidently flew to the sun, causing the wax on his wings to melt and resulting in his fall. Just like Ryuin, who was overly confident in his ability to defeat Ayanokoji, the outcome was quite the opposite. Ayanokoji, with his calm, reserved demeanor, managed to defeat him single-handedly. From this, we learn that we should never underestimate or belittle others, for those we dismiss may indeed be better than ourselves. Aside from Ayanokoji's way of thinking, he also possesses above-average physical abilities. In some situations, physical capabilities are equally essential as intellect. When the sports competition started, Ayanokoji knew this event's essence differed from previous special exams. Much like the sports festival this time, physical ability was crucial. In other words, employing specific abilities and tricks, as previously done, would not have significant impact. The key to winning this event was preparing ahead of time. Unlike Horikita, who pondered strategies and tactics to win, Ayanokoji trained not only his intellect but also physically. Another lesson we can learn from Ayanokoji is his vigilant nature towards all possibilities, resisting complacency in any situation. When all Class D students were told they would receive 100,000 points monthly, it caused them to become complacent and spend money frivolously. However, Ayanokoji remained cautious, believing everything must have consequences, eventually leading to Class D not receiving points the following month. Moreover, during class lessons, many students played, slept, or skipped classes. Yet oddly, teachers did not reprimand them. Everyone continued their activities without feeling any abnormality, except for Ayanokoji, who remained aware of the prevailing situation due to his constant vigilance. Ayanokoji views everything not only from a positive angle, but also from a negative one. He acknowledges that consequences are inevitable. There can be no light without darkness, no positivity without negativity. In Stoic teachings, there is a concept called premeditatio malorum, which is about preparing for the worst possibilities. Everything has consequences. We shouldn't become complacent, as it can backfire. Premeditatio malorum reminds us that there will always be potential misfortunes that can befall us at any time. The only thing we can do is prepare for such adverse possibilities. But not everything about Ayanokoji is worth imitating. Although he is portrayed as a perfect person, he is not a good figure to be considered a moral role model. Ayanokoji is not a good person. He is not someone you should look up to. He can easily use others just to get what he wants. In psychology, Ayanokoji is someone referred to as Machiavellianism, someone who has this personality trait characterized by cunning, manipulation, and the drive to use any means necessary to gain power. Ayanokoji himself said in one episode that he sees all humans merely as tools to achieve his goals, until, in the end, he is the one who wins. He is seen doing this throughout the series. One example is when Ayanokoji used Ichinosu's points to buy CCTV. He also used Horikita as a shield to protect himself and remain inconspicuous by claiming that all the scenarios he planned were entirely Horikita's actions. In addition, he used Karuizawa as a trusted tool or pawn by manipulating her. Ayanokoji once said,
家庭は関係ない。どんな犠牲を払おうと構わない。この世は勝つことが全てだ。
that his perspective is directed toward one goal: to win in life, no matter what method is used. Even by manipulating others as tools, in the end, for him, winning is everything. In the book The Prince, written by Niccolò Machiavelli, he explains that life is about gaining as much power as possible, regardless of the methods used to obtain that power. In the book, it is detailed how a leader should act in political situations. Ayanokoji internalizes this philosophy. He is the embodiment of this concept. He became this way because of the White Room program, which was designed to create the perfect politician with the hope of making Japan more advanced in the future. Although the philosophy he holds is, in some opinions, valid in political reality, it is not a good trait to possess due to the lack of morality involved. Manipulative traits will only bring negative consequences to both the person and the people around them. The desire to be manipulative will only damage people's perception of us and destroy the relationships we have with others, ultimately bringing negative consequences to the individual and to society as a whole. From this character, we can see a figure who maximizes all of his abilities, someone who might appear perfect. But Ayanokoji himself never considers himself perfect. He is aware that there must be someone more perfect than him, which makes him possess a sense of humility. Ayanokoji does not excessively love himself. He never intends to seek validation and does not need recognition from others. He doesn't even want to move up to Class A. All of that means nothing to him, because Ayanokoji has already gained everything. He's already at a different level. Even so, he still has a purpose: to watch over and advance Class D from the shadows, becoming the mastermind behind all of that class's achievements. We can see two different sides of Ayanokoji. On one hand, this character can be a role model, to be competent and remain humble. But on the other hand, we know that he does it for another purpose, a purpose that is unethical. He considers all humans as his tools. He is willing to do anything and manipulate others to achieve his goals, willing to sacrifice everything so that in the end, he is the one who wins. Even though it may seem cool to be like Ayanokoji, it is certainly not good to make him a role model, because it leads to unethical actions that could eventually harm both ourselves and the people around us. In the end, no matter how smart and strong we are, the most important aspect is to control ourselves. We learn that to achieve the goals we desire, we must be patient and wise, and also keep ourselves on the right path, a path filled with wisdom. Thank you.